Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Joby with another episode of Unboxing America. On today's episode, we have a new product I just got, and it is for my truck, and it's a product I think every truck should really have, honestly, because it provides safety, security, and possibly even improves gas mileage. I don't know, I can't really attest to it, but I have seen a difference in the past with some of my trucks. But what we got today is the Gator SFX trifold tonneau cover. This should be a pretty cool, pretty quick one, and I'll even go through like the installation on it. This is my third one that I've had, so this will be my third truck, and this is my third one that I've had, and I just love these. They're so simple, and it just provides just a peace of mind whenever I put stuff in the back of my bag. So I'm always worried that somebody's going to come back around when I'm at, the store or something. They're going to come back and steal something out of my truck bag. So with that being said, we're going to go right into it and just knock it out of the park. So we got my trusty dusty Gerber. Let's get to it. Okay. And then there's some, nope, not going to open up that way. Okay. Alright, so what do we get in the box? Well, we get the trifold itself. There's no packaging materials, nothing. Well, actually, take that back. From the top, there's nothing anyway. So that's the tonneau cover itself. And on the inside, we have some packaging there. We get some weather stripping, additional weather stripping. The weather stripping that comes on it has always been enough for me. And then you get your manual. And then some additional packing material. Nothing too fancy. That's all for the box. Now the product itself, it's wrapped up in looks like some plastic protectant on the ends here. Cut that off. Come off that way. Okay. Alright, so then on the underside, so these are rubber banded in, but these are what actually connect to your bed on the back. And I'll show the demonstration on how to do that real quick. And then these are the other connectors for the bed itself as well. Now with this being my third one, I've seen a couple different variations of these connectors. The first one I had for my first truck, it was I actually had to use a file and set the correct height for the anchors, and had the file on the back of my bag because I had the plastic cover on it. To file that down so it actually fits snug, it wouldn't come off at highway speeds. The second one, it was just real simple. I just had to tighten this on, and then this third one, it looks like it's going to be kind of similar to that. So this should be interesting. I liked what I had on the other one where I just had, they were spring mounted. Goodness, and yes, these are going to be spring mounted as well. Here we are. Yeah, so once you get this on, you just adjust that and it'll come out. Cool. We'll get to that. The product itself is just this really nice durable vinyl. Has a weather stripping on the outside. Alright, cool. Well, let's get to mounting. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do with this trifold is you want to get it positioned on the back of your bed, and you want to get it lined up. Before you go tighten anything down, you want to get everything nice and lined up. So you got the weather stripping on the back. You want to make sure that's lined up with the weather stripping on the back of your bed. So it creates that weather tight seal. Okay, so now that portion is done. And then you're just gonna unfold it. Okay, so I'm unfolding it here. What I'm checking for is to make sure that the middle of the fold is actually lined up with the middle of the rail. So that way it's not canted to the left or to the right. So I'm just gonna double check that on this. Okay, so the alignment is now what I would consider correct. So now I'm just going to check the last flap. And there's two things I'm looking for. A, that it still lines up with the middle of the rail, and then when I put my truck bed or the tail up, then it will create that seal on the tail as well. Okay, so now it's all lined up. So now the only thing we have to do is tighten down the screws that'll hold it onto the rail itself.
Hi, me again. So these are if you have a truck bed that has actual built-in rails on the side. You can use these, which are just little hangers here that you can hook them into. It also, if your bed has a lip on the inside of the rail, you can hook these on there. Otherwise, they're just going to dangle down. So to prevent that from dangling around, I'm just going to tighten them down onto the rail itself.
All right, so now that we have the tonneau cover secured on the front of the bed, we're going to unfold it, and then we're going to show how the mechanism works on the back of the bed, and then that'll be that. Okay, so now both of those clips are installed on nicely and securely, and we just got to tighten up the back. Now look at that. You can't get in. Well, really, if you really wanted to get in, you could just take a knife and slice it open, but at that point, somebody's going to notice. So if anything, it's a deterrent and it is a safety or it's a peace of mind. And the last feature that I like about it is if you don't want it down all the time, you can actually fold it up. That's why it's part of the trifold. So I'll show that part. All right, so first step is you just undo those hinges. You lock them up into the rails. And then you fold. Now what you'll see is on the middle rail, you have just a little clip here. And that's going to connect onto the back of the bed. Just as such. And then you can tighten it down. So after you clip them both in, you want to make sure that this is very important. You want to make sure that you give it the test. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. And it's not going to go anywhere. All right. So something I want to bring to your attention before I wrap this up is that I want you to be very careful when you're putting this up into the fold position, that you have your clamps fully in the downright position. Because if you have it up and you're not paying attention, that part will stay like that, and you'll come through and you'll pop it and you'll push it right through the top of the cover. And then you'll have a hole and you don't want that. So just remember, whenever you are putting it into the folded position, put that down in the folding locked position. Alright, so that's going to do it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell everybody. Alright, because on this channel, we answer what's in the box.